Sex Party with your host, Dustin Rybka.
Hello and welcome to Sex Party. I'm your host, Dustin Rybka. With me on the show this week is someone I've wanted on the show for a very, very long time. She is adult, megastar, OnlyFans creator, AVN's 2026 MILF of the Year. She is Lexi Luna. We are going to talk about the decade she has spent in the adult industry. We go through her career. We talk about not only winning MILF of the Year finally this last AVN, but what it felt like to be in that chair, to be in that seat, to be in the audience when they called her name to win the big award and go up on stage and accept it. We get into all of that. Is she getting turned on by the taboo stepmom roles that she's always cast in? We talk about it in depth. We also go into free use as a genre of porn, our thoughts on it, explaining it to millennials trying to understand free use. If you guys know what free use is, great. You're going to love that. But if you don't, buckle up because you're about to find out. We get into her origin story, how she went from a school teacher to a porn star, her OnlyFans, what she's up to over there, her wildest online request, whether she's a facial girl, a cream pie girl, both, something different. Will she ever do a gangbang or a DP? And where she may be going next. It's insanely interesting, fascinating. Lexi is fucking awesome. So without further ado, please enjoy my conversation with Lexi Luna.
This week's conversation.
Lexi Luna, welcome to Sex Party. I've been waiting a long time to say that. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. This has been a long time coming, so I'm glad we got to finally do it.
Yeah. And like full disclosure, full transparency, we've met multiple times on red carpets, at Exotica, at AVN. So we've had a lot of real life interaction.
We're honestly like some of the few people who I think like it's like that convention group. Everybody goes together and everybody says hi to the same people every 3 months.
Yeah. It's a traveling circus, you know? Yeah.
That. It is that.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to say congratulations. Sex Party round of applause. Big Sex Party round of applause for winning 2026 MILF of the Year.
Yes, MILF Performer of the Year, baby.
AVN. I mean, I feel like that was such a long time coming.
It feels very good to be recognized in this way.
Yeah.
But you know, I also like I'm 37. I just had a birthday. And so I'm like, that's a little young.
Yeah.
And so I understand. You know, I don't ever take offense that I don't win something because, hello, did you look at the category? Legends.
Yeah, no. And every year it's like that too. It's like,
it's a hard
whatever.
Category.
Yeah. It was, we did an interview on the AVN red carpet before you went in, and I like get these weird intuitive like gut feelings. The viewers will remember that I like predicted that Jennifer White would sweep, and she did.
She did.
Which was so deserved. And I was interviewing with you, which is not out yet because I am up to my eyeballs in content and these poor people. I know.
You need a content manager. You need somebody who edits for you. You need somebody who writes descriptions. Who uploads.
We have a good editor, but I have a problem like letting go. Also,
this is so real because I had the same issue before I started making content like full time in 2020 when that's all we had to do. I was like, no, I want it to be perfect and I want this and that. And it's like, no, it doesn't matter. And I'm here to tell you, do not fall into the same mistakes that I made. Just let it go. Release the content. Release it to fans.
I'm down with that. Even, you know, my problem now is that we're fighting certain editing standards over on Instagram. So certain things have to be bleeped there. And now we're fighting that certain things have to be bleeped on YouTube. So I'm trying to teach my editor what to bleep.
What those things are.
Yeah. And it's very, very difficult because she's like, why would I bleep the word, you know, sausage? I'm like, because she used the word sausage in a way like, you know,
sure.
Because Instagram, they're like, fuck you, dude, you're out of here. You know what I mean? It's like really whatever.
And is there one that's more strict than the other? Like, is YouTube more strict than Instagram? Or
so here's the secret that I found after 4.5 years of podcasting. YouTube does not like when you emulate sex. So if you do like jerk off motions or you moan, that's got to go on YouTube. Instagram hates the word sex, desire, passion, fuck. Like, I mean, I just bleep everything on Instagram. And to me, it makes it more interesting because people are like, that's like 85 bleeps in a row. And I'm like, yeah, you should watch that episode.
What is wrong with this system?
Yeah. So whatever. They're both a pain in the fucking ass. I would say that YouTube is more difficult, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that that's what I've seen with a lot of my friends who have tried YouTube channels and have been monetized and then got demonetized. It's just a never ending list of, well, this, but this. Yeah, so I feel for you. And honestly, that's probably why I don't have a whole lot more safe for work content out anywhere, because it's just like I drop F-bombs like it's my literal job, and I will try really hard not to do that. But
no. It's totally fine that you do, because we're like, I have to go through and bleep anyway. It's not any more work. And like,
right, fuck.
Fuck it all. YouTube is cool with saying fuck, but it's like if you know, a lot of times, because we're talking about sex and gangbangs and all this shit, and people are like, they're talking about what it's like. And sometimes it goes a little like, what I was told from YouTube is like anything that someone could potentially get turned on by. And I'm like, well, that seems awfully vague, but I will take that as. But
ASMR is still totally fine.
And they have dirty ASMR on YouTube now too.
Of course they do. That's the only reason ASMR would exist, is to be dirty. Like, that's the whole reason the internet exists.
Yeah.
The perverts.
Yeah. The first thing I saw on the internet way too early was a naked picture of Jenny McCarthy.
I mean, I feel like that was that was a milestone.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah.
Go back.
Me too. I miss early internet. Yeah.
Although, I feel like people are starting to get like digital cameras, and the flip phone is back. And, you know, that kind of like, it's all cyclical. It'll come around, and I will be ready.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna say was I had an intuitive feeling about you on the red carpet when I interviewed you that I don't know. I might have told you too, like when we were during the interview. I can't fucking recall because I was really dehydrated. But I just had a feeling you were gonna win, and like my friend Erica Icon and I always go to this restaurant, like this 24/7 spot on the strip, and like watch the awards come in.
Okay, 24/7 spot on the strip. Tell me.
It's
I live here.
The one that you could go and see a celebrity there any given time. It's like the quintessential. It's down by it's across. Why is this failing?
Okay, email it to me, because I'm very curious about this spot.
Yeah, I mean, you know it. It's the fucking it's the like. There's a really cool lounge where you can get drinks in the back, but it's like a diner, but it has trees in it.
I don't know it, but it sounds magical. Like
it's
little
amazing.
Nymphs are just in those trees waiting for you.
It is kind of like that, to be honest with you. And I'm Googling it right now, and I'm talking just to fucking fill the dead air, because we can't have dead air, but it'll come to me while we do this. But yeah, we always go there, and we saw that you won, and I was like, fuck yeah. You know, like, because, so, you know, congratulations. What did it feel like? So going in, I think I asked if you were nervous, and you were like a little bit or something like that. Did you go in, like, get a cocktail, get seated, the thing starts? Did you present? Like, tell me, what was your AVN Awards experience like? I want to know everything.
Of course. I did not get to present. Maybe next year, because I feel like now I know the right people. And I could be like, hey, I want to present an award because it seems like fun. I'm responsible. I can do it. I can read the teleprompter. We're all good. And yeah, it was really surreal to win, because it's a moment I've thought about for a long time, but didn't ever really like expect it to happen, because I feel like I did some of my best work this last year, but I also was so like just proud of that work that it's almost like it didn't even register that work is what led me to the award.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool to feel like I really felt the love from my industry standing up there. I mean, Tony Rios, the guy who owns the whole thing, came out, Octavia Red and Casey Calvert, two people I respect highly in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just really cool to like, that was the award. He can present any award he wants, and he chose to present mine. And that felt really, really special. And I feel like, you know, after I was the December cover model for AVN magazine as well. And I did a big interview with Dan Miller, which was a lot of fun. And it was just like such a full circle moment. This is my 10th year this year in 2026. It started in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just feels like things are, I don't know. My cup is full. Let's just say it that way.
Yeah. Because let's put the audience like in your body for a second. Not in that way. I know you thought it too, but like, but like, and they are probably like, oh, okay. But like, you're sitting there in the audience, and
okay, so I'm sitting next to my BFF, Sophia Locke, first of all, who just won at XBiz. She won the MILF Performer of the Year at XBiz.
She's so much fun.
Oh, I love her so much. And so we're sitting next to each other and we're holding hands. And we're just like, I'm like, you're the hardest working MILF in porn. Like, you totally deserve this. We didn't get to sit next to each other during XBiz, but we were seated next to each other here.
Yeah.
And I'm like holding her hand and like, it's going to be you. Like, you work probably 300 out of 365 days. Like, she is such a workhorse. She wants to do all the sex and she wants to have all the experiences, which is amazing. And I'm glad that she gets to do that in this industry safely, consensually, sanely. And so, yeah, it was like, we're just like hyping each other up. And she was like, no, it's you. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I hadn't even considered it could be me, like at that moment, because I was like, no, but maybe. And they open, and I see Octavia, like they open the envelope and they kind of struggle with it. And I see Octavia go, like, she's excited. And then they say my name and it all just like, it's like there's a big flood. And there's one video, the people who were filming for AVN got of me like exiting my row and going up, and it was just magical. Like, it was everything that I've always wanted it to be. The feeling was right. Any other year would have been wrong. I just like was so overcome with like gratitude and to my fans. They have been waiting for this moment for as long as I have. They have been wanting me to win for as long as my career has existed. And so it was really just fucking cool.
Yeah, man, that's amazing. Like that. Did you black out when you get up on stage? You remember?
I took in every fucking second of it because I was like, I looked up into the top. I looked at everybody, my friends in the front, all of my peers, like all of it was just, it was just everything.
Yeah. Yeah. You've been like you said, you've been living that moment in your brain in so many different ways.
And to finally have it, I was like, it was as good as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like, oh, I wish I would have said this or I wish I would have said that. I feel like I thanked the people who got me started and put me on the path to becoming who I am. Mm-hmm. And for, you know, my very first award win on stage where I get to accept and say something, I wanted to thank the people who took a chance on me when they didn't have to. They helped me out when they didn't have to. And I really respect that. And I love them.
Yeah, and 10 years in porn is no small feat. And
no, I mean, 10 years in any career. I was only a teacher for 5. Meanwhile, that career haunts me to this day. People cannot stop. Like it's almost every third fan that I meet on like one of my platforms. They're like, "Were you really a teacher?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh wow!
It's such a cool like story to go from doing something that everybody has experience with, just about, to then doing this, which very few people have experience with.
Yeah, and we're so going to get into all of it. I love that, and we'll probably circle back to the. I mean, obviously, we're going to circle back to the MILF shit. I mean, I think because it's part of your DNA. It's
all I've ever done. You know, I was a MILF from the time I started at 26. Differentiated you between the teen category and the MILF category, which is really all there was at the time. There wasn't this like middle babe category that we have now, like where the girls like a Kaylee Gunner would fit, where she's like, I'm not like, she does play MILF roles, but she's not really playing the like younger ingenue kind of roles anymore.
Yeah.
And so like she's in that babe category. And so we just didn't have that. So I had this really young looking face full of collagen, let me tell you. Oh, youth is wasted on the young. Let me just say that.
That is such a great line. Yeah, for sure. Because you have no idea what you're doing. Yeah.
And I had these big fake boobs. I had a woman's body, but I had a really young face. And so they could not place me anywhere. Which I think back on that now and I'm like, wow, that is such a weird way to look at this, because you have this amazing talent in front of you. You have this person who's like, I was very much the same way that I am now, bubbly and excited and happy to be there. I'm pleasure on set. I've proven myself to be great. And even back then I was hungry. I wanted to be great. And so I was doing everything I could to, give everybody a great day and make it easy.
Yeah.
So
you're professional.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I mean, I feel like you're one of the MILF performers that even in this moment right now, you could still be cast as like the stepsister. And like, you just, what? I mean, porn is weird in the sense that you're right. If you're older than 22, it's like, go over into the MILF category. Like, what?
And then, my stepsons are like my age.
Yeah,
and they just look younger. So I'm like, okay. The only time a stepson actually ages out is when they get gray hair.
Oh shit. Okay, so some people can go for a long time. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Sorry, you've got to play the dad now.
Yeah. Now you're a daddy.
Oh my god. Well, okay. So I would imagine the majority of the audience is here because they know who you are. They love you. They're going nuts. Let's say somebody, I don't know, was like huffing butane or something. I don't know. or they
let's hear where this thing goes.
Yeah, well, let's see. Yeah. Buckle up. Or like they tried to hold their breath underwater to like beat their friend's record or something, and they've been in a coma for 10 years. Let's just say they have no idea of the spectacle of Lexi Luna, who she is, whatever. But most people in the audience do. But for those like one or two people who had those terrible accidents,
we call them new fans, and we love you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about who you are, what you do, and introduce yourself just for the sake of doing it?
Of course. I'm Lexi Luna. I am the gentleman's porn star. I do all the classy shit you want to see a pretty girl do. I love to have a nice, well-dressed man in my presence. I just like to elevate everything, because when I tell my audience that, when I call them gentlemen, it sets a different precedent. It makes them feel like, oh, I better like act like a gentleman. And so I feel that is one of the like hallmarks of who I am, is like, I have my limits and I'm very clear with them. And if you have a problem with my limits, I encourage you to go find somebody else. But at the same time, I can tell you no for something, and then we can negotiate to something else and talk, it doesn't all have to be all or nothing. And so I think that a lot of my fans feel very comfortable with me because they really like that I don't shame them for things and I don't yell at them. and I really just want everybody to learn and grow and be more sexual and explore their sexuality in the way that makes them happy, as long as it's safe for themselves and other people. And so, being that I was a teacher for 5 years prior to entering the industry, I feel that I get a lot of people asking me questions, advice. I have a lot of couples who come to me and ask for tips in the bedroom. And I just love that, because knowledge is power. And when you bring something out of the darkness and into the light, nobody can shame you for it anymore. Like it just rolls off of you. And so I really just want everybody to experience the sexual freedom that I have, because there is so much that happens in our world that is connected to sex. And it's truly the one thing that all human beings have in common. And so I think it's one of those things that like we shame the thing that we all truly desire.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, it gets to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, let's change that narrative, because there are plenty of people shaming you for masturbating. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So, you haven't seen me in 10 years. I'm sweet. I'm sensual. I'm kind. I'm stepmommy. I'm dommy mommy. I'm a little bit of all of the facets of like a sweet Midwestern girl.
Yeah. Former school teacher. I mean, come on, right?
Yeah. So the one thing you won't see from me is a huge like one day we're doing girl, the next day we're doing gangbang. Like I don't really do a whole lot of variety. Mm-hmm. I pretty much do 3 scene types, but people who like that and like the sweet aspect of me, we really click. And I have a lot of fans who've been with me for almost a decade.
So, okay, then what, easy podcast question. What are the 3 scene types that you do primarily?
Boy, girl, boy, girl.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. that's important. And has it been that way since the beginning? Were those the guidelines, or did you just want to do boy girl and you worked your way into those two other?
That's a good question. When I first started in 2016, it was a little different than now, when you see a lot of people have OnlyFans already going before they find an agency. And so before it was camming that got you to the point where you were like, oh, I feel like I know how to move my body on camera, like how to open up for the camera, all those aspects. But now you're learning that doing home videos in your room. And so you already have an audience, so you're already marketable. A girl an example of this is Haley Rose. She had a huge OnlyFans presence, and now she does mainstream porn as well. But she came with a certain level of experience, and we just didn't really have that back in 2016. You didn't, unless you were a cam model turned porn star, which happened but was not as common. It was just not something that you could figure it out, because it was kind of still guarded. I've rambled on and I've forgotten your question.
Well, I just didn't know if you started out hey, I'm going to do this porn thing. I'm only going to do boy girl. And then you're like, okay, maybe boy girl or whatever.
Yeah. Did you add advise us to start with girl. Okay. Because everything you add on after that can be a first. And you can, the way that it was at the time is you can make more money if you have never done a boy girl. And if you've done only girl for a year, you're a girl only performer. The thing about that is it doesn't really work that way for somebody like me who doesn't really fit into that category of, ingenue. And because of that, I didn't really have I just kind of was like, I really would just like to do scenes, and let's see what is offered to me. And most of the things that were offered were boy girl at the time, which I was super happy whenever I got to do a boy girl, because then I could learn from the other girl, because at this time, I'm brand new, green in the industry. My agent's a little helpful just on general stuff, but I have to find my own performing style, and I have to see how other people perform. And is that something I want to emulate? Is there something I want to change in the way that they do it to make it my own? All that kind of stuff just is is swirling around your head in those first 4 years, trying to figure out what it is that you're going to be known for.
Yeah. And also too, a lot of people on the show have told me that when they get a boy girl scene, they're like, oh, cool, great. I don't have to there's less work for me to do, in a way where it's I'm not responsible I'm not the only one there, which I feel it doesn't sound, that makes someone sound like, I don't want to work. It's not, dude, it's fucking sex, bro. It's it's,
the positions aren't comfortable. And when you don't have to do all four of them, it's a little better.
I mean, even in normal life, I feel like it would be fun to tag somebody else in for a hot
minute. Be tag, you're it. Yeah, let's switch around. Get in. Maybe you lick my pussy a little.
Get in here. I need help with her or whatever, or whatever, right? So
exactly. Yeah. I will say, as a MILF performer, I'm typically the one that has to lead the scenes. And so even if I'm working with another female, she's usually younger than me. And so at that point, I'm not necessarily getting a break. I'm orchestrating everything. Even though I might not be doing every sex position, I'm including myself in the sex at every turn. Sure. And so that's part of the choreography that the MILF usually has to do. The MILF or the male talent. So that's usually, but if you're the MILF, your male talent is typically younger. And so you're really the one in charge. In a typical boy girl scene, the power dynamic is a little bit different. Usually it's younger, older kind of scenario. And if it's a man who's older, the female's younger. But that is also one of the things that's super annoying, because the MILFs never get to work together.
That sucks. That sucks.
Yeah. And so mommies and daddies typically don't get to work together either.
Fuck. Well, I mean, why don't that right there? Why can't we do a MILF universe where it's there's a, you know what I mean? The MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we could just have the MILF universe. I don't know. I mean, whatever. Maybe, maybe that's a fucking episode title for this thing. But the MILF, I mean, because you're MILF of the Year, so you could lead the charge in that department.
Lead the charge.
Yeah, because I think who better to rally up all the other MILF Avengers than you? You know what I mean? And I feel like it would be a fun side quest to have all the MILFs together doing shit. You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's a lot of fun to get when we do get to work together because we are all so confident in our abilities to both lead a scene and follow in a scene and to like make it magic. And so it's so like at this level, 10 years in, I'm always like, please show me a senior performer. I want to see what they're doing. I want to see how they've changed because I've seen them for 10 years now. And so it's always so interesting to me to work with my friends who are MILF performers who I've known for almost a decade, to see what they've done different, to glean anything I can. I'm like, ooh, she's saying this word, or ooh, she's using this like scenario. And it's just constant continuing education, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and that's
using.
Yeah, and that's what's great about you is it sounds like you're constantly like taking things in, and you're not afraid to be like,
you gotta watch the tapes.
Oh shit. Yeah, the game tape. Yeah. Yeah, you got to watch other people.
It's how I learned at the beginning. I didn't really know that I was like starting to get better until I sat down and started looking through some stuff on Pornhub. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm not a lost deer in headlights in this camera anymore. Like but it's all muscle memory and put us in position, because especially when you're first starting out, they know that you're new. We love a male talent who understands it's a girl's first couple scenes.
Yeah.
So thank them for that. But at the same time, it reminds me to like, oh, it's on the job training. And it's so much fun for me to like get to work with newer talent now, because I'm like, don't make the same mistakes I did. Look how much faster you can be proficient.
Yeah. Well, I'm clearly you're like a lot of that too is it's confidence. You're a very confident person. You come across every time I've interviewed you, you've come across very confident, not arrogant, but confident and fun. Some people are like confident and I will not mention, but there is someone, and I would never mention a name. I did an interview with someone, not on the show, but at a Exotica. And they were so arrogant that I cut the thing out of the special. I was like, this is so bad. Whatever.
Special?
Yeah, I cut them out.
That's rough.
And I kind of knew, someone told me like, hey, good luck with that. And I was like, oh no, it'll be fine. And then turned out that it was not fine, but it's only happened to me once. And so it's like,
hey, look, the beautiful thing about the recording is that we can edit all up and make it sound like that person never was there.
yeah. Bye. And whatever. But so there's that, but it's like, you come across like very confident in you, in your ability, and when I ask you a question and the answers that you choose, the way you choose, the work you're choosing, like, it's almost like, you really have a handle on that. I feel like you have your own agency,
Yeah. And I think that also comes with age. I'm 37 now, and I've spent a good part of my like developmental CEO years, right? Learning and interviewing and doing all of these things and watching other people. Anybody at 10 years into a career will have a level of proficiency that is palpable and that you can't fake. And it just takes experience. And so I know that I look back on some of the interviews I used to do at those Exoticas back in 2017. And you know what? In 2016, I paid $100 to get into Exotica because I was nobody. I went to the Chicago Exotica and I paid my way in, and I went and I shook hands with people and I wrote thank you cards to anybody who let me display my booth and do sell anything at their booth, because I just didn't know anybody. And then the next time I knew those 5 people. And then the next time I knew those 5. And it's like people just underestimate the amount of like that kind of work that it also takes too.
Yeah, it's it's so much networking, and also it's so much being open to, this person might not do the same thing I do, but it's like we should team up on something. There's always, I feel like, friendships, alliances, whatever you want to call them, it's smart to like dive into someone else's world, even if, and then I kind of do that on the show sometimes too. It's where it's like for instance, like right now, like this is your episode. There's nothing to do with me, right? But I'm gonna be the one who's like asking the questions to get deeper into like what you're thinking or whatever. Off the top of my head, what could I ask right now? So when you're doing when you're doing a scene where you're a stepmom, right? And this is a question I ask people who do the, because this seems to break down in porn in 2 or 3 different categories. When you're doing the stepmom thing, or maybe when you first started doing it, do you like give into the taboo part of it and allow yourself to be turned on by the taboo? Or are you like, I'm just doing this because it's work? Or like, because I feel like it breaks down, like there's like 3 categories. It's like, oh yeah, I have to, because like
That's what sells.
like, and also too, like, why would I not enjoy myself? Like, yeah, it's wrong, it's fun, blah, 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 whatever. The second one's like, yeah, I just do it and I do my best because it's work and whatever. And the third's like, I don't do that. So like, and whatever, like that's fine. But like, where do you fall on that?
You know,
MILF of the year.
One of the things I really love about my role and being the woman in charge is that I don't let anything go past the limits that I have. And it's not like I can even really name those limits. It's just like, I would never say something that I wouldn't be okay with.
Mm-hmm.
And so it doesn't even cross my mind that it's like, I don't do that. But at the same time, you know, I feel like I fall on the, it's like as a disassociation, like when I'm doing mommy talk stuff, like I'm not thinking of myself as a mother. I'm not thinking of, you know, the real life element of it. It's fantasy and it's entertainment, and that I live in that space of it too. I don't necessarily get turned on by it, but it does turn me on when I'm like on a video chat with a fan and it turns them on.
Mm-hmm.
And so that level of like, it's hot to me because it's hot to you. And that makes me want to do it really well, because then I'm protecting that person and that role play, and I'm not, you know, turning it into something that they're not expecting. But I very much like, and I do tame mommy role play. So it's not, you're not going to get a whole lot of the more fetishy sounding words and the more like explicit acts and things like that. So mine is, I would say, very tame, but it's also very loving and sweet. And I think that is what sets it apart. And so, I do it and I love it. And I put all of my heart into it because I know that whoever's requesting it really wants that.
Yeah. Well,
that's where I fall.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also too, I think that's probably very obvious in like your mainstream work as well, because it's like you're cast as in a role, and it's like, you know, I mean, and learning the dialogue and learning the part a lot of times. And I think that porn just figured this out in the last like 10, 15 years, but it's like, yo, there's a good storyline and you believe, and then they fuck. That's like what gets people off. It's not just like, oh, hot people fucking. Oh, she's fucking her son. Great. Whatever. But like, it has to be like this sometimes like, oh, what do you know, there's this resistance, right? And then there's like
it's just like writing a great book.
Exactly.
You have a little bit of conflict, you have a little bit of climax, so to speak. and then you have the resolution. Like, there is a story arc that has to happen. And I think that there are a lot of companies who have figured that out, that especially in those role plays where it's dialogue heavy, like a stepmommy role play, you know, a lot of what happens and a lot of the experience that somebody has is based on what I say, not necessarily what I'm doing. And I think that people have figured out that like, you have to really pay attention to that vocabulary.
Yeah. And it's like, these are real fantasies, right? There's, I mean, couples that aren't even anywhere near porn, normal civilian couples, are like role playing shit to keep it spicy, mommy, daddy, fucking daughter, son shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, these are, oops. Step. But that'll be bleeped on YouTube. But it'll be in the audio version though, because they love that. So but so yeah, and I think, again, I say this almost every other episode, but like, porn reflects the market. The market doesn't. So you know what I'm saying? So
I will say that it does reflect the market, but sometimes when you're feeding the market the one thing and that's all you're feeding it, the market's going to reflect the thing that you're feeding it, right? So we film all this MILF porn and then we're like, oh, MILF is the biggest category. And then we film more MILF porn and the next year, oh, MILF is the biggest category. And so it's like this cyclical thing where if you really want something to change, there has to be a drastic drop in production. It can't just be like a few studios stop doing stepmommy stuff. And I know that there's a big controversy around faux cest in the industry because some
Faux
people are
cest.
starting
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, some people are starting to be like, I don't want to do the stepdaughter role anymore.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. And some people are like, I don't want to think of this person as my stepdaughter or stepson or whatever, because it's never really about the step. The fetish is really about the incest, and that's illegal. And so we don't portray that. That's why we have the steps. Because in that scenario, nobody's related. And, that's also one of the things that credit card processors make sure that, we're compliant on. So that's why you hear the compliance where it has to be step for compliance. And that's so they can sell the content.
Totally. Yeah. And that's very interesting. And I have two questions. Well, one, I think it, for a lot of people, I can't speak for everybody, or maybe I can. I'm the one with the microphone. So, but I think it's just that taboo of doing something like forbidden. I don't think really that many people want to fuck their sister, step or not. Like, I don't think whatever, but there's like this, it's like a it feels good to be like wrong or bad or whatever. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's just being a human.
Bad about bad.
You see, exactly.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn this way. I mean, our entire society is built on.
Yeah. And it's one of the reasons why I'm doing this podcast, because that idea fascinates me so much that it's like, why are we not getting into some of this stuff? Whatever. Two, do you think, like, what do you think is missing personally? What do you think is missing from porn? If you could insert a category into, Pornhub's algorithm or whatever that, and then the studios would respond and start making content of it, what would it be?
There was a time where I could have answered that very wholeheartedly with a lot of like gusto, that we need more like sweet, sensual, everyday, very passionate partner type sex. And that's not really represented. But then these companies come around, and a company like Bellesa comes around and they say, we want to give you this experience where you don't have to feel like you're on camera and you're opening up. We just want you to have sex with somebody that you want to have sex with in this industry. And now it becomes a totally different scene, because there's no script. There's nothing. You come in, you like do your scene with this person, and you don't have to think about where the camera is. You're not acting, you're not performing, you're just enjoying the sex. But it's also, it just inherently makes it more intimate, because you don't have to be elsewhere. And so that's a really cool scenario for me. I love shooting with Bellesa. I actually have a shoot with them on Friday.
Nice. Yeah.
It's that kind of stuff that really, I think, sets the precedent.
Yeah, there's and that's really interesting too, because here we are talking about, like performative sex for porn, right? And we love it. We're all fans. Whatever. But then when you really get into somebody, like you're like, oh, this person's like, I feel a connection to this person. I'm a fan. Then it's like you get to see them, what it's like when they really have sex, and it's like two different flavors of this thing that you like, which is I think you're right. I think that hopefully it does, you can choose, right? Do you want more reality based sex where the person's just relaxing and not trying to show, like hit the angles and or do you want the performative, right? And I think
and with OnlyFans and previous to that, I think Pornhub had a big group of a community of amateur performers who were doing just that. And I think that really, once that kind of started to blow up, then OnlyFans with the pandemic, and now everybody's kind of making home content. Yeah. And now it's feeling more real, and you're seeing different angles because the cameras are just set up. They're not actually being moved so that people can enjoy the time. And so, it was just a little bit of a shift, and porn goes through these shifts every couple of years. We start to see a little bit of a trend that's like shaping into something else. One of the bigger trends, not necessarily new anymore, was the free use. Have you heard of this?
Oh yeah.
Yes. You're like, oh yeah, I'm going into free use.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I get it, but for me personally, I'm like,
yeah, it's not for everybody.
yeah. But like, if you should explain your personal definition of free use, because we like to do that on the show too.
Love that.
Personal,
so the way that this was described to me, because as a millennial, I just have no patience for new things. I don't want to learn new categories, none of that. So I was like, please explain TikTok and this free use thing to me.
Yeah.
So jury's still out on TikTok, but the free use thing is basically you are free to use her throughout, like it's an agreement. It's predetermined consent, and they go about their day, and it's kind of like, I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but it's kind of like the understanding that the both of you are cool with whatever happens, but you're just like studying or doing the dishes. And I don't know. I feel like it could go both ways. Like I've never seen it where a female is free using a man, but
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like that's kind of just societal.
Oh yeah, for sure, for
but,
sure.
you know, like I could go up. We're free to use each other, and it doesn't have to be about the sex. We don't have to talk about what's happening. We're not really necessarily connected. We're just kind of like roommates having sex.
Yeah, and it's like the thing that makes me, I guess, not as connected to it is, I mean, I've watched a bunch of fucking for you stuff, and the thing that like makes me like
well-versed.
It's like, yeah, I'm well versed in hosting this podcast. Like, well, you kind of know things.
No, you have to know, because we're spending a lot of time catching you up on stuff that the audience already knows about. So good on you. And
the thing is too, it's like the thing that takes away from it for me is probably the thing that makes it work for other people. And that is like, if she's doing the dishes and like he comes up and like pulls her pants down and like, you know, starts fucking her from behind. Well, she doesn't even really acknowledge that she's being fucked. She just keeps doing the dishes. Yeah. Which is kind of like
no feedback.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's my millennial brain too. Like I get it. And at first it feels like this could be fun. And then it's like, this feels very vacant.
Vacant is a very good way to put it. I'm going to add that into my vocabulary. It does feel very vacant. Yeah. It is probably some of my favorite scene to shoot though, because I don't have to come up with anything.
No, you just kind of like hang out.
I just do my thing. Although there was one I did with Adult Time with an amazing performer, Lainey Gray, and she was like the tutor, and then me and my stepson were doing our little free use thing. And it was just so, she's such a great actress, and she's like reading her book. She's like, well, you know, you really should focus on this. And I'm just like, it's funny. It's fun for me because she and I had such a great day filming that, because she was just like in character the whole time. She didn't break, and she just had these facial expressions. And I'm like, yeah, this is exactly how you should be, like looking over, like, what is happening? I'm just the tutor.
So have you done a lot of free use scenes?
I wouldn't say a lot. Maybe.
Are you always the stepmom when you do free use?
Oh, 100%.
Okay. So it's like the stepson, like free using his stepmom.
Yes.
Okay.
I've done it with a girl too. I did it with a girl with a strap on, and we were like in like a little resort, and then the lady from the resort comes in and like starts talking about our room while we're doing it, and then she's like, and this is where the towels are. Yeah,
and that's the other thing too, is like there's usually a third person who's like the sister's friend or something, or the mom's.
Oh, you know what? I just thought of one that I was not the free UC.
Oh, you were the other one.
I was the other person who was like, I was I was the wife, and she was the babysitter, and they had a free use thing. Okay. And so I was like talking about how she's going to watch the little one tonight, and we're going to go on our date. And I was reading a book, and I was like, oh, look at this line. And we're just like the whole time. The only rule I think is technically we cannot touch physically.
The third person
having sex, because at that point I'm involved in the sex.
Yeah. Okay.
And so then it's
well, and that's the other vacant part about it, is that the third person doesn't acknowledge the sex either usually. So it's like, who is
everybody's
this
just
for?
like pretending like that. And I don't know what dark hole from the internet this came from.
Yeah.
But
I think it's just dudes.
Me and you millennials trying to figure out.
Yeah. It's just dudes like in school, like. okay, 10 years in porn. This is another question we always ask on the show. 10 years in porn. When a guy you're having sex with a guy, he finishes, where do you prefer the cum shot? And like what, because this can go so many different ways. Are you a facial person? Are you cream pie? Is it somewhere else on your body? And I would ask you, I would add specifically for you, and why? Because 10 years in porn, you have boundaries.
Totally.
What are we mixing? What are we not?
So cream pies are extra because it's extra toll in the body. So anytime you see a cream pie, know that I got paid extra. It's also a big fetish, and different scene things have different prices, and ultimately that is probably the least of what I do.
Sure.
But it is the biggest of my categories. Like everybody is like waiting on the edge of their seat for another cream pie scene. And I think that's also the fun in it for me. It's like, I'm gonna make you wait, but then I'm going to bless you with a couple here and there, because there are studios that are very like, they're like, yes, it's worth the extra because we know that this cream pie scene is going to sell.
Totally. Yeah. That's smart.
I love a facial, but these days you boys be aiming at eyes, and I don't like that. And it's not necessarily, I say aiming in jest, but I have had still get cum in your eye, but I don't ever get mad. Like it just happens. I don't think anybody's aiming.
Sure.
So I do love exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's very rare that anybody does, but it happens, and that's not that big of a deal. My eye just is a little red and a little achy afterwards, but it's not that big of a deal. Just that is. So yeah, that's probably, I would say titties and facial. It used to be more facial than titties, but now I feel like, and so that's probably been the most popular. And then every now and
that's slowly becoming more popular too, I think.
Which I think also goes back to the more connected, more like regular sex, because that's what regular people would do.
Yeah. Well,
I forget what it's like to even like not have experience in sex.
And that's the thing. It's like some people, there's some freaks out here.
100%.
Yeah.
Maybe they learned it.
No, exactly. Right. And I think that's the joy of porn. I always say this too on the show, that people are using porn the wrong way. It's Absolutely. Like people, everyone's like, all that porn stuff is so unrealistic. It's like, thank God, because if it was realistic.
You know how much fucking hard work it is to fuck for 35 minutes so they could cut it down to 20? Or for an hour so they could cut it down, and you don't realize how unattainable it is for your home video to look like anything that we film. Right. The first time you pick up a camera and you're like, well, it's fucking dark in here. How are we going to do this?
You didn't bring lights? Yeah.
And so now, because we've done the pandemic and we've had the Zooms, and now we all have the lighting, and, everybody's kind of figured it out more. We just have a different frame of reference because we didn't really record ourselves having sex in that way until the pandemic, and OnlyFans exploded and girls were like, oh, let me just jump on that gravy train.
Yeah. The gravy train it is. And it should be. Sex work deserves the highest payouts. I think, I've said it time and time again. It's like, dude, the world would not be what it was without sex workers. So stop fucking with them,
Yeah, we're just trying to live our lives over here.
For real, dude. Like, if you
we're not trying to hurt anybody. We don't want kids seeing our shit either. We're all in the same position, except we really care about it, and everybody else just pretends to care about this being about kids.
Absolutely. Yeah. What kind of scenes actually like turns you on, right? When you get a call, or it's like, hey, we want to do a blah blah blah, like, what are you like, okay, that's my jam.
We have a really fun one coming up this summer.
Okay.
With a company that does it's like more like a psychological sci-fi kind of like level of drama, and so I'm super excited about that, because I kind of want to like I kind of feel a little like I want to do some unhinged stuff this year. Something a little different, something out of my element, but still like within my boundaries. And so, yeah, I'm working on a couple things and I'm super excited to hopefully like that stuff should come out this summer probably.
Lexi Luna is gonna it would be your version of like Breaking Bad. It'd be like doing something completely different than what you're doing. I love that.
Oh, I love me some Bryan Cranston.
Oh, okay. So maybe you could do like a Breaking Bad parody or something, and you could be
okay. So which character am I playing?
I think that we have to. I think we got to gender swap it. I think you have to be Walter.
The wife's character isn't as like. It's not as intense.
Yeah. You know, and she came into her own at the end. And people like shit on her like crazy. It's like, dude, you guys don't understand the show. That dude was evil. Like, what the
she
fuck?
was the normal one.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, had he like chilled out a little bit, they would probably had an empire together. But he had to be the big. Yeah. Yeah, that would be interesting because there's so many characters that you could play around with or whatever.
Yeah. There's another movie that's happening this summer that I was like, ooh, I see the safe choices characters of like the older women characters. But then I'm like, what about this like disruptive character over here?
Yes.
Like, what about her? Can we? And so I'm working some things. I'm seeing what we can get to, but I'm excited for this year. I was definitely feeling the pressure from the win. And I'm like, oh no, now everybody expects me to be great.
Well, I was going to ask you, and you answered it. You're a podcaster's dream because you answer things before I even ask them. But I was like, you know, I wonder if, like, in the back of my head, I was like, I wonder if she'll go into that like sort of like hentai fucking realm world or whatever. I won't. Or you'll do like not necessarily, maybe not like alien tentacles like fucking your mouth or whatever, but like maybe you would do
something a little more
like the zombies or like whatever, because I feel like now it's like, okay, my career, I hit the MILF thing. How do I distinguish myself as like, how do I twist it on him? And it sounds like you're already
and I kind of like I was like, well, I've done all the things like in the nice girl way. What about the other girl?
Okay.
So I don't know if it's something like, I don't know if it has legs. I just kind of came to this realization this first quarter, and I was like, you know, what am I going to do this year? Because I am the only one putting pressure on myself from this win. I fully understand that, but at the same time, like, anytime somebody wins an Oscar, you're like, well, let's see what movies they do next year.
Oh, yeah.
And so I definitely feel that. And I just love that my fans are like, that's ridiculous. Whenever I tell them about it, they're like, that's so silly. Like, you don't have to worry about that. You're always great. Being you is what got you here. So they always give me a little pep talk.
Yeah, I think that you could, if you want to, you could do the same things you've always done because you're good at it. You're really good at it, right?
I could just continue down this path and do exactly the same types of scenes for sure. But I feel like anybody who maybe didn't want to take a chance on giving me a role that isn't like in my art, in my type, maybe would give me a chance now.
Yeah, exactly.
And so if I have any opportunity to like snag a little something different, like this might be the year, and I might just take that.
I see. I think that's amazing. So, where do you think, like, how would you, is it safe to say for Lexi Luna, right, at this point, would you just say flat out, like, I'm never going to do a DP, I'm never going to do a gangbang, I'm never, or
never
would
say
you?
Never.
Okay.
Because there are so many fans that I don't reach because I don't do certain scene types.
Sure, yeah.
And so, and I see all of them commenting all the time, like, when Lexi? But it's one of those things where I kind of like keeping you guys on the hook. I kind of like being like, ooh, maybe if I did, who would I do it with?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, just kind of keeping it fun and playful and all that, because ultimately people come to me for entertainment. And so I always want to just like keep it light and simple and not start an online discourse that's negative in any way, because we just have enough of that already.
Yeah. Well, and I think that the idea that you are opening your mind and your creativity up to, and your talent up to, I might think about this. I might not. Like, so you guys should hang out and see what I do. That's the most exciting thing in an artist, which you are an artist and an athlete. That's the most exciting moment in an artist's career, is when they're like, should we do the next album like totally acoustic with a weird background drum beat thing? Like, that's the moment where it's like, whether you do it or not, the fact that you're open to doing something completely different is what makes right now exciting. And I love that.
I had not considered it this way, but thank you for those words, because that really hits home, and it really like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you know, dude, it looked like Bowie ran off to fucking Berlin for a couple of years for a reason. He's like, I'm good at this, but I kind of want to go get weird and like dye my hair and become an alien and whatever. And like he made history, right? Michael Jordan like stopped playing basketball and did baseball. Didn't turn out so well, but he went and did a different thing for the artist's sake of it, you know, for himself. And like,
I've put a lot into the fans for the last decade. And so now it's like, they can trust that my brand is my brand, but I can still venture off and do something a little different and not crash and burn all of them and disappoint them. So I think that we're finally at that point, me and my fans, that we can just roll with the next thing and see it as a cool project. But no, we're coming right back home to mommy.
And they would love if you did whatever. And I can see you getting roles in some of the feature length stuff that they're which is like really good these last couple of years. Like
I know.
Ricky Greenwood
stuff have been insanely stacked with those features, featurettes, all the like special like showcases and all of those things.
I can see all that for you, and I think it's very cool, you know, that you're open to it. So here towards the end, I do want to know, like, the jump from teacher to porn star. I have to know, because it's like we hear that story sometimes, you know, and it doesn't work out for people or whatever. But you taught, was it in Indiana? Am I right or no?
I taught in Indiana. I taught in Florida. So when I officially made the switch, I was teaching in Florida. Okay,
so what made you want to do it?
Oh man, I got headhunted on FetLife, which is like a kinky Facebook for those of you who are not familiar. Back in the early 2010s. Oh God.
I know.
That hurts me.
I know.
Back in my day.
No.
FetLife was not a cesspool, and people could actually meet and have real life connections. And that is how I met a lot of the people who kind of like parlayed me into the adult industry in a way that I didn't know. I went to a dungeon and I found these foot parties and like started going just because this guy liked to touch my feet. And I was like, sweet, I like that. And little did I know that he was doing clips for sale. And 2 years before I officially got headhunted was like, you know, you could make some extra money just like showing your feet on camera. And I was like, who, me? Like, how would I even start? Look how dingy this apartment is. Like, where am I going to shoot this? He was like, I could manage it for you. But I was like, no, I'll pass. And then only a few years later, I'm like, oh, a lot of people are doing, I'm shooting for a lot of people who are putting my clips up for clips for sale. And I was like, oh, this is what he was talking about. And then like, once you're in it, then a lot of things make sense. Mm-hmm. But that was kind of the beginning of like understanding that. So I was teaching by day and doing these events at night and just kind of getting to know these people and learning the facets of kink play and being safe. And it was just really like a great educational experience. And so me as a teacher, I really like vibed with that. So I really was excited to go and learn stuff. They had workshops and I learned how to do different types of kink play. And it was just really neat. And then I put up some modeling. I put up some of the photos on there, and somebody who was recruiting for one of the agencies hit me up and was like, hey, I think you could do great in this industry, blah, 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 blah. And so I was like, okay, I see you. Give me a phone number to call, because, you know, like I'm trying to call their bluff, because I also am very aware that people just say this kind of stuff and they try to scam and bring girls to places. Yeah. And so there was a phone number and I called it. And I had a very regular conversation with this lady, and she was like, you know, this is what it is. This is what it isn't. Any questions that I had, she answered. And I was like, okay. So I was living in Orlando at the time. Fort Lauderdale, where I started performing, was like 3 hours away. So I was like, all right, let me pack the car. I got to the point where I was like, I want to leave teaching, but I don't know how to leave teaching, because once you're a teacher, it's very hard to do anything else. Yeah. Unless you're teaching at like a collegiate level. There really isn't a whole lot besides being an elementary school teacher. You know, your degree is basically K-6, I believe it was. And then I got certifications and other things, but it really pigeonholed me. So I can't like go do anything without more school. I can't become a principal. I can't do any of that. But I also don't really want to go do more school because then that takes me out of the bracket of like, oh, she's new, we only have to pay her this much, because then I have like a degree. So then there's these steps, people who have that kind of system in their job understand. It's like once you get a master's, then you're the next pay raise step level. And
Sure.
I was just too young, being just freshly out of college. And so I was kind of in this limbo, and I'm like, I really don't like being in the classroom anymore, but I don't know what to do. And that's when this whole FetLife thing happened, and I got headhunted, and I was like, well, this is in April. So yeah, school's over in May. Let me just like try this a little bit over the summer and see what happens. Because at the time I didn't have a summer job secured, which I always had to do because I was always moonlighting over the summers since we didn't get paid over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then I would teach summer school, but sometimes like I want the fucking time off too. I don't want to have to do more jobs. And I just got to the point where I was done with the classroom, and I knew at 26, I was like, I know I'm closing the door on my career. That's the difference between somebody at my age coming into the industry and somebody much younger and coming in and making mistakes that they wouldn't have made if they had just like had more maturity. And so I was like, yep, I'm ready to close the door on this career. And I found out that my contract did not get renewed anyway because I was the newest teacher. And there were still tenured teachers at the time in Florida, which is not a thing anymore. So basically, I was being fired either way. But I had already made this decision about leaving anyway. And I was like, you know what? This just feels like poetic timing where I am not wanted back in this classroom and I have something else that I'm going to go do. So that's what happened. I drove myself down, packed my little bag, my little hatchback car, drove myself down to Fort Lauderdale, and I was like, I'm fucking doing it. And then I walk in and there's 4 girls sharing 2 bunk beds. And I was like, oh no, I am a full grown woman. So that I was like, okay, let's figure this out as soon as possible. Sure. And so, it was really hard for me to get bookings at first because I had the wrong look, I guess, which is crazy, but I was young face, woman's body. So it took me probably 2 or 3 years to really start being booked in a way that was meaningful, where scenes would come out. And then I worked like 28 out of 31 days in July in 2019. And so then the pandemic happened the very next year, and everybody was sitting on all of those scenes of mine, and they just started releasing one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. It was like almost every week I had a new release.
That's dope.
Was what really set me.
Wow. Shit. I'm glad I asked. Oh my God. What a story. Because
it took me until like 2022, 23 to kind of be like, is it over? Like, am I popular or am I not popular? It's like, where do I stand? Because I felt so disconnected. I didn't have any frame of reference with my friends because we weren't doing shows. We weren't like nothing. We weren't seeing anybody. And so we weren't even seeing each other outside of being on set. So we're having virtual AVN.
Yeah. Oh my
and so
God.
You don't really get that like same experience and be able to like tell where everybody is in relation to what you're doing without that social element. But it was pretty cool to finally see and be like, oh yeah, no, that July of 2019, doing those 28 days, which is an insane amount of work. Yeah. And then just letting it fucking release for pretty much, 52 weeks? So almost half the year.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
So thank you, pandemic, for making me popular. Thank you, companies, for holding all those scenes, and then you were forced to release them. And then, I mean, my Pornhub just popped off. My rankings started going through the roof. At first I was like, yay, top 100. Then I was like top 50. And then I was like top 20. I'm like, oh, okay, top 20. I like top 20. Let's go. Yeah. I also work with a lot of companies that I know put all of their full scenes out on Pornhub for free. And so people are going to start seeing me. They're going to start searching my name. They're going to start typing my name into the search bar. And that's really where the rubber meets the road, where people are like, they have your name and they want to find everywhere you are.
Yeah. So, okay. And this will lead me into my final piece for the interview conversation. It's more of a conversation, interview, whatever. So then did you jump on the OnlyFans thing when the pandemic hit too? Because you're like, oh, is that when you started that? Okay.
So I was signed up for OnlyFans in 2016 when they first started, but nobody was really taking it seriously because at the time girls were still doing their own sites. That was still a thing that was happening. And I was like, let me build my own site. Like that seems like something I should have. But now with all the age verification laws and all the things that have changed, now I'm like, I'm glad I don't have my own site because I would be responsible for knowing all of those laws and blocking certain states and dealing with international, like there's just so much pressure when it comes to that. And I don't want to mess it up. Me as a sole producer, I don't have the bankroll to pay that fine that Ofcom might put on me from UK. I just don't know. And and it's so new that there really isn't a lot of help in the legal system for it either. And so it's like, okay, I could get a lawyer, but do we really understand, do we understand the implications of all of this? And is it going to stand or is it going to get shut down or does it even matter? Do we just block that state for now? And so there were just too many things. And so because OnlyFans came about at a time where nobody was really using it, but we all kind of signed up and took our name. And then when 2020 happened, I remember OnlyFans had actually deactivated me because I was inactive. I wasn't posting anything, doing anything. And I'm like, I'm too busy shooting on set. Okay. And so then when we got to the point where we were all online for perpetually, I emailed them and I was like, hey, I'm ready to come back. Please open my account. And they were like, done.
Nice.
But yeah. And that was honestly some of the first content that I filmed because I was so stuck on it has to look good. It has to represent me in the level that I want it to represent me. Because as you know, I'm the gentleman's porn star, so I can't have ratchet ass content.
Yeah. That's amazing.
And that's also when I learned that you just have to put the content out there because some of the things that I was the most I'm not sure about, my fans are like, that's some of my favorite stuff you've ever done. And so from the beginning of our interview, I implore you to just put the content out.
Oh, dude, I couldn't agree more. Especially if you don't have to censor it, get it out. You know what I mean? Just fucking get it out there, whatever. I couldn't agree more. I would totally fuck this episode up if I didn't ask this on OnlyFans. And again, I say this every time. I'm going to preface it with, I'm a weirdo. I'm pretty sure you're a weirdo. We love weirdos. It's great. We love whatever. Neither one of us is kink shaming. We don't do that on that show. We love all of the stuff. Consensual, of course. Legal, of course. With that being said, right? What is your one or two most out there crazy OnlyFans requests that you've gotten?
I'm so glad you asked me this question because I have to look it up because I write down this stuff when it happens because I'm like, oh, this is going to be great for an interview.
Yeah. It's such a good question too because it shines a light on human sexuality, I think. Yes. You know what I mean?
The one that I used to always say.
On a dildo. Okay. Now I'm trying to picture hair job on a dildo. Okay. Yeah.
This was many years ago before the pandemic. I had a fan who was talking to me on Sex Panther. So it's a paper message texting platform.
Yeah.
And they were doing this robot fetish. They wanted me to malfunction. And so they wanted me to there was a series of things, and it's always a series of do this, then this, then this. And that's to do the malfunction. And I was like, I really don't want to do that. I'm not really into it, blah, blah, blah. We would move on, do something else. He would always come back to this malfunctioning. And I would always say the same thing. I don't want to do it, blah, blah. And after 15 rounds of this was months that he and I talked. After all those months, I realized that he was making me malfunction. Because I kept saying, oh, no, I'm not really into,
Wow.
And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, we're playing at a different level.
Dude. It's those dudes who are real nasty to sex workers in the Instagram comments so that they'll bash them back just so they can just go jerk off to it. That's crazy. And
it was never rude. He wasn't pushy or rude. We would just always, and I'm totally fine because there might be a time where I'm I feel like doing it. And so consent is in the moment, and you should ask because every session is a new session. It's not we're just continuing on from the last time. It's just kind of we're starting again, and now here we're doing the robot thing. And so it wasn't it was annoying that I kept getting asked the same thing. Mm-hmm. It was more just that I almost was props, dude. props.
Did you call him out on it? Like, yo.
No. Once I figured it out, I was like, this motherfucker, and I blocked him because that's the only way out. There is no way out.
Yeah, with someone who's with that intellect, that's like the Joker or something.
There's no way out. Like then I will just be thinking, what's the next get? What's the next time he's going to try to get me on this? Yeah. And so it's just a block, and it's fine. I wasn't mad, and I was like, God, that's just so good. Like I'm truly pleased that somebody could even come up with that.
Yeah. That's crazy. Lexi Luna, thank you so much for being with me on Sex Party. Let's tell all of these wild party goers in the audience who can't wait to see what you do next and they want to go, follow you on social media. Where can they follow you on social media? So Instagram, Twitter, all of that. Also, and more importantly, where can they find you online and just dump out like big, giant baskets, buckets, boxes of money all over you.
Okay, I thought we're gonna have the baskets and buckets filled with something else, but that's okay.
It's money.
It's money.
Yeah.
So social media links, all of that stuff. You can find everything Lexi at iwantlexi.com.
Love it so much. Would love to have you back. We'll talk about that in a second when we stop recording. But thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Talk soon.
Bye.
Huge thank you to my guest, Lexi Luna, for being with me on the show this week. Make sure you go check out everything she is doing. Take some cash. Go over to her OnlyFans. Throw it at her nicely. Make it rain over there. Enjoy yourself. That's what this shit is all about. If you want to see Lexi again, she will be back in the future. But let's just say you're enjoying guests like her, but all of the guests that have been on the show. Let's say you're still on board with all my wacky nonsense as a host. How can you show that love, that appreciation, and also make sure that you never miss a new episode of the show every single Wednesday? Well, if you're listening to this on platforms like Apple or Spotify, you could leave a rating, you could leave a review. I would appreciate that so much. It will help me in a strange night when I've drank too much and I'm looking at all your reviews and your ratings. But honestly, forget it. Let's not worry about me. Let's worry about you. Okay. Forget that and do this instead. Make sure you're subscribed to the show so you never miss a new episode every single Wednesday. It's that simple, right? Especially if you're subscribed or you think you're subscribed on Apple Podcasts. They have been unsubscribing people, pausing subscriptions for quite a while now. We don't know why. So this is what you want to do. Go to Apple Podcasts. Go to Sex Party with Dustin Rybka. In the upper right-hand corner, if you see a pause button, your subscription has been paused. Don't panic. Just tap the pause button, toggle on down to resume subscription, resume download, whatever it says. Hit that. Boom. You are resubscribed. If you're watching on YouTube, I love you. I see you. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for over 5,000 subscribers. It's amazing. If you're watching on YouTube, where do you want to see Lexi Luna go next in her career? What would be interesting to you? What would you like to see? Leave it in the comments. Let me know. Let's have a conversation. If you are watching on YouTube and you want to show some sort of emotion towards the show, love, hate, desire, rage, sadness, confusion, bewilderment, anything, and you also want to make sure you never miss a new episode every Wednesday, how can you do these things? Well, you could like this video. You could like all the videos. You could do that with the dislike button. You could dislike this video. You could dislike all the videos. You could leave a comment, positive or negative. We will go back and forth on this video, on all the videos. Just feel free to leave comments everywhere. Eventually, I will get to you. We'll start a conversation. We'll have a blast. But the main thing you want to do, the one thing you want to make sure you do is subscribe to the channel so you never miss a new episode every single Wednesday. As always, I'm available in the DMs on Instagram. And I will see you all right back here next week.
Thanks for listening. The party continues next week. Click subscribe and let's make this a regular thing. Follow the show on Instagram and Twitter at SexPartyFM. Follow Dustin at Dustin Rybka.